Hey guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times, and this is the full gaming review of the best gaming phone right now in the Indian market. This is the ROG Phone 2, and this gaming review is particularly to show you how well it plays PUBG Mobile. This phone is particularly made for gamers, and this game is what most of us play around the clock. And this has been one of the most famous games. Most of you keep asking about the graphic settings that are possible on the phones and what the chipsets are able to offer. So before we begin, this is what the chipset here is. It's Snapdragon 855 Plus. What 855 Plus brings in is 2.96 gigahertz. So the clock speed is made better by about 4%. But what gets better here is the GPU. It's 675 megahertz of clock speed for the GPU. That's the Adreno 640 GPU. So with the gaming, there should be some betterment done here, and also along with that there's vapor cooling and an entire cooling system here. There are good accessories. We unfortunately don't have any accessories, so we won't be able to talk about that much. But without the accessories, if you're actually buying the phone, I was surprised with the price that was given for this phone. But if you're buying this without any accessory, how good is the gaming on this, and how good is the control of the temperature, is the vapor cooling and everything keeping the phone chilled out, and how good is the battery life? So we are going to test everything here. And before we start, here are the benchmark scores that the phone has got. So we tested it on two variants, two versions of Antutu. The first version was the Antutu 7 that was present in India. 3,52,000 was the score that it got. And when we tested it on the Antutu 8.0.7, that is the Chinese released variant, and that is what is going to come to the Indian phones or the Indian Play Store as well. 3,95,000 is what the Antutu score is. So almost 4 lakhs. So the chipset is able to do much. But how good is this with the gaming? That's what we are going to talk about here. So this is the ROG Phone 2, and right now before we start, let's check out the temperatures that are present on the phone. It's 29.8 on the front of the device, around 30 degrees is what you can say. On the back, let me remove the cover as well, but towards the center anyway, it's about 30 degrees. That's the temperature. Even the ambient temperature is around 27 or 28 degrees, and the ambient temperature. You can see here it's about 2 degrees more, because anyway the phone is running, so obviously it should be a bit more warmed up than the ambient temperature around. So we have the FPS meter turned on here, and that's the FPS meter to show you the frame rates of this phone. And this is the dual speed stereo speaker, so you'll see that the volume is going to be quite high, actually quite a heavy output, and it's constant at 30 because we have it on high. And now if you go to HD and Extreme, it actually has HDR and Extreme, which is obvious because this is Snapdragon 855 Plus, and that's the best possible graphic setting that you see on any smartphone. Snapdragon 855 was able to give the same, and now 855 Plus also has the same HDR and Extreme. So HDR and Extreme is the best option. You also have the Smooth and Extreme option, which is basically for 60 FPS. So I'll take it to Smooth and Extreme right now because we want to test it on Smooth. Most of us would want to see Smooth, not HDR, though I'll give you a quick demo of HDR as well there. And the battery as well is 100%. We have charged it fully to see what's the battery drain here, and it's 60 constant on 60. Sometimes it goes down to 52, but that's okay. We'll have to see how good it performs when we are actually playing the game here. So of course you can see that this is a full wide screen, and that's what is happening here. And you can either tap here, or we have one air trigger that is enabled here. This is the top air trigger. So if I tap on the air trigger, it would actually help in this function. Here there's a trigger, but we haven't set it up. I'm mostly comfortable with the 3 fingers, so that's what I'm going to play here. So these are the 3 fingers. So I'll rather try to tap it here. Also, as we always say, it doesn't matter if we die or die early or something happens here. It's mostly about the phone's performance that you have to see here, not the gameplay. You don't need to judge the gameplay here. And although we have been praising the performance of the phone speaker. It's mostly the headphones that we use to play the games. So you can keep checking the frame rates. It's still constant at around 60, and this is basically on smooth, not on HDR. We'll change it to HDR in some time, and then we'll see. So it's constant on 60 still. So far there's no issue. So now while the next game has started, we are moving on to HDR and extreme. Here HDR plus high frame rate may result in device heating up and consuming more battery. You can reduce the settings accordingly. Apply both HDR and high frame rate settings. Yes. So now we have shifted it to the best of the possible settings. I'll increase the brightness now a bit. This makes it more natural, more shadows, colors get better. This actually is the best of the graphics settings. Now we'll be going to Georgia poll, which most of you keep asking us about, that what's the lag, or is there an issue when you land in hot drops? Because in places where there are not a lot of enemies, that's where you can't judge the phone's performance as well. Here during hot drops, that's where you have to see if there are frame drops or if there are lags. So these are the things. These are majorly the things where you would see other phones messing it up and not able to help you there. Here it was quite clear that it was easy to handle things. Let's try to go drive a car around, and while I go for the car, let me check the temperature quickly. So towards the center of the phone, you can see it's about 41.5, not towards the center, towards the top actually it's about 41.4 on the front. Now on the back of the phone, where the liquid cooling or the vapor cooling system is present, you can see that it's not that heated up. It's 39, which is not bad at all for a phone that is offering HDR and extreme. And towards the side it's about 36. This is the area where the Redmi Note 8 Pro was taking you up to 48-49 degrees, and here it's not that hot. And here 39, 40. Okay, towards the bottom here it actually is showing some heat up, and this is where there's this dissipation of the heat through the vents. So that's where the hot air goes out and tries to keep the phone chilled. So 42 degrees is the max that we have seen so far on this phone. Now we'll go around to other places and we'll see while driving if there are any lags or any issues. But you can see this was HDR and extreme. There were no issues on the HDR and extreme so far. So it's about 15 to 16 minutes of gaming in total so far, and I actually am feeling a bit of more heat where I am actually moving my finger right now. It's towards the bottom. We aren't fast forwarding anything right now. It's really smooth. Though yeah, it is heating up. You can't deny the fact that it's heating up, but it's not again going to those temperatures where you might feel that you can't play the game at all. It's still very well playable and not so heavily heated up. So these are the temperatures here: 42.9, 43 degrees. So that's the best. Oh, that's 43.2 that the phone has gone up to, and this is the area where I was telling that it's heating up a lot. So let's start another game, and before we end this would be the last game. So just to confirm, we still are on HDR Extreme. Let me move back to Smooth and Extreme once again. So this is the smoother gameplay. Obviously it should feel smoother, but most of the good looks are all gone. So we aren't using ear triggers much. It does take some learning and also understanding. So we aren't doing that right now. For now, we'll be only showing you the gameplay. So I guess we'll end it here, but you can see the frame rate has been constant. It's on 60 FPS. There were no lags. The reason why we were telling that this phone is one of the best for gaming is this. It has been doing quite well without any issues. So this was rather a good demo here, and that's it. We'll end the video here, and you can see it was quite a good phone for gaming. This was quite a smooth gaming device. So it actually has went up to 44 degrees. So it's not totally the liquid cooling working here. Anyway, you can't expect the liquid cooling to be working here. It's the vents that push out the heat from here. So if you are playing a game in landscape mode, your fingers resting in this area towards this area would actually be an issue, because that actually is heating up quite a bit and causing some issues with the experience of the game. Otherwise it's 40 towards the center, which is not bad at all, and even on the front of the device it's about 41.4. so I would say it's not the chilliest of the phones. So you can see 43 towards the front as well on the top. So it's not cool, totally cool. So there is issues with the heating and all, which is again quite fine. And otherwise it's a pretty good gaming phone. It's actually meant for someone who's into gaming. They have the aeroactive cooler and those kind of accessories that would help in making your gaming experience better, so that you can anyway use and do your gaming experience better. But otherwise I would say that the heating was the only issue. Otherwise this is one of the best gaming phones in any price range actually. Also, while we were on this, I had a meter, time meter running up. 37 minutes is what we played the entire game for so far, and the battery is down to 89%. Let me go to the settings. And battery settings, 89% is the battery left, 11% in total for about 40 minutes of gaming. That would convert to about 400 minutes, which is what the company also claimed. About 7 hours of gaming is what is going to be possible here. So that's it. This is the full gaming review of the Asus ROG Phone 2, and this was all about it. Surely this is one of the best gaming phones, and we expected this phone to be about 50,000, but it's much lesser than that. So obviously this could easily be a choice if you're someone into gaming, into smartphone gaming, and were looking for a phone that does everything that you require from a gaming smartphone. So that's it in this video. I hope you like this video. If you do, share and subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.